Hey guys, I'm your host, Abby Smiley. Welcome to Pep Talk. Hi you guys, welcome back to Pep Talk. Today I'm going to be discussing the weight that our thoughts add to our lives and how easily negative ones have become accepted into our society and our individual minds. And I'll be telling you how to overwrite that seemingly automatic behavior into producing positive thoughts instead. But first, a life update. Okay, you guys, I am now on several weeks of eating lunch. I am very proud of myself, and I was laughing really hard the other day because I was on Instagram, and my little sister, she is so awesome. She does all of these like home renovation things. They just bought their first house, and she has been doing all sorts of projects, and it's amazing. She's recently been painting her floors, and that was the one that probably blew my mind the most because you just don't think about painting actual floors. But anyway, I was laughing because she pauses all her real-time updates with her home projects and reminds you to eat lunch. And I just love that both of us, it must be in our blood that we have this like project mindset, that we have a hard time remembering to eat lunch. So if you need a reminder, listen to Pep Talk or go follow my sister at Sweet Jane Ellen on Instagram because she will remind you to eat lunch too. Maybe us Smiley girls can get a little bit through to more of us. Zach and I are still watching Gilmore Girls and just happy as ever. I just love it. It's such a feel-good show, and I don't know, you guys have heard me talk about it too much, but it's absolutely fantastic. Okay, also I did an ab workout this morning. It was literally 5 minutes long, but I was very proud of myself. And I'm trying to include a little bit of exercise into my routine so that I can stick with it, because exercise tends to be one of the easiest things for me to let off my plate. If I'm feeling overwhelmed, even though that's definitely the thing I should be keeping on to help me with the overwhelm. But as you guys know, this year one of my words is body, and so I'm trying to work really hard on doing things that are right for my body and will help it to feel good and function well. And I've been just doing these little 5 to 10 minute workouts. I really love the ones on YouTube by Lily Sabri. She is so awesome. In fact, maybe we can link those in our stories this week so that I can show you guys where to go, because she is just great. They're so simple. I am not somebody who even understands all of the terms for workout things, and she just breaks it down easily. Plus, she's cute and fun to listen to, but she does them, you can do them all at home without weights or anything, so I'm very thankful for that. I'm sure some of you remember a little while ago, like a month or two ago now. Wow, that's crazy. I was having some severe hip issues, and I went to the emergency room. I did a whole bunch of things, and thankfully I've got it under control as of right now. But strengthening my core is definitely something that's going to help me not have to deal with those hip issues again. So I'm working on them not only to try to make myself feel better, but because I know that it will stave off some intense pain from coming to me. It's also been really good for me to work out because there's actually been a lot of change happening in my personal life right now, and this podcast basically is my personal life, so I will share some of that soon. But right now I'm still kind of in the beginning stages of it, and it's a little bit overwhelming. And because of that, it led me to this perfect topic for today. Now, I'm really excited to get into today's topic, but first, a little word about one of our sponsors. Guys, let's face it, I am a night owl. My creative brain is whirring as the night hours grow, and sometimes getting to sleep and staying asleep is a fruitless effort. Enter Happiest Med. They are a local small business with a range of CBD products to help your mind and body, and lately I've been putting their 100% natural CBD sleep drops under my tongue before getting in bed, and the restful sleep I easily fall into blows my mind. I can relax because they're natural CBD drops, locally sourced right here in Utah, and there's just no fuss. Simple packaging helps me know that this is a medical aid and there's nothing to feel uncomfortable about. Visit their website, happiestmed.com, that's HEPIUS, buzzsprout8321535med.com for more information and to grab your own sleep CBD oil, and sweet dreams to us both. I just want to discuss with you guys how to adapt to change and push your way through change with a positive mindset, because change can get very overwhelming and frightening. And I mean, I've been having a lot of change in parts of my life lately, but I think all of us deal with that, especially as the seasons change. Everything starts changing around us, and there are vaccines becoming more easily accessible for all of us. The excitement and enticement of a new old way of life again coming to us with these vaccines. So many of the changes happening around me and to me are very positive changes, but with any and all change comes stretching and moving beyond our comfort zones. And that means no matter what, it will be uncomfortable. I've been easily catching myself falling into negative thought patterns and letting fear rule how I handle these changes, and also noticing how much that does not feel good. I think this happens for a lot of us. It's like we want to be excited and focused on the good things that could be coming our way, but instead it feels kind of automatic to shut them down and assume the negative and decide that the more worrisome and frightening aspects are more likely to happen to us. Now, when we think about it truly and bring awareness to this, that's a ridiculous claim. There is no more likely chance that something negative will happen to you than something positive. You truly have a 50-50 chance. And while we can't always control our circumstances, we can absolutely control our attitude about them. And as we all know by now, your choices and decisions and energy around something have great effect on what comes from it. For example, if you have an evening at home all by yourself, and you're anything like me, you could put your energy and ideas toward a night of jazz music, pretty candles, making a delicious dinner for yourself while you dance around in the kitchen, and enjoying your favorite movie cozied up with a face mask and fuzzy slippers. But it's also easy for us to shift our thought pattern into loneliness, isolation, and starting to hear all the creepy noises that arise because we're home by ourselves. I cannot even begin to count the amount of times where I've been excited to have some time to myself, and instead I let frightening thoughts creep into my mind that ruin the entire evening for me. Thank you, scary movies. And probably listening to a whole bunch of true crime podcasts does not help me either. But this is what I'm saying. The evening could be filled with the exact same circumstances and noises and run-ins in either scenario. But based on the thoughts that you've decided to let stick around, your feelings and energy around the night will be starkly different. I'll give another fun example of this because my dad just came to mind with this story. I remember one time in high school getting a flower from somebody who I was not attracted to. It was a very sweet gesture, and as an adult, I cringe even thinking that I was bugged by it. But I was 16, and this boy was not the best at the boundaries that I had set between us and wouldn't leave me alone. I was irritated by it, and when I got home from school with this flower, my dad was curious to see who had given it to me and was asking me with an excited voice. When I mentioned the name of the boy, he and I kind of shrugged it off. My dad laughed, and he said the line between romantic and creepy is very thin. I didn't understand what he meant, and he explained it just a little bit further. He said that if this flower had been given to me by someone I had a crush on, I would not be able to shut up about it. I would have it on display in my room, and I'd probably hang it to dry to preserve it even after it had died. But since it was from someone I didn't have these feelings for, it was a slightly different symbol to me. But no matter what, it was the same single flower, completely unchanged by the interaction. I want you to take this with a grain of salt, because when someone you aren't into does something sweet for you, that doesn't mean you need to be googly-eyed and overly gracious in thanking them. You can set boundaries and take things how you choose to. But what I want you to remember is that situations will happen and be unchanged as they are simple fact. Say you see an offer for a new job you're interested in. You may have automatic reactions to this, but don't forget that you get to pick what thoughts stay and rule the experience. You may have a thought of, yeah, but I'm not the one who they're looking for, and I probably wouldn't get it anyway. But you can just as easily have the thought, this is exactly what I've been looking for. And why else would this job be posted up right on the light pole that I pass by every day on the way to the bus stop if it weren't meant for me to see it? The job availability is the same no matter what. It's unchanged by your reaction either way. All that you are doing by choosing to see the awesome and positive and exciting side instead of letting fearful ideas linger is changing the energy in which you will interact with this fact. And positive energy leads to positive results. I have recently been working on a lot of fun new projects for my business, Peach Vintage. New designs for our clothing line, alternative products to launch in collaboration with other makers and creatives, and just having a blast while doing so. But with each new leap and endeavor, fear really likes to creep right on in and pounce on me. What if I lose all my money on this? What if nobody likes it? What if this product is a flop? What if I get mean comments because I'm not perfect at design and can't fulfill everyone's needs at once? Then I start to think I should back out of this immediately and stick to what I'm already doing. The fun thing I'm just remembering is that actually at some point, what I'm already doing was new too. This was a scary leap, and I made it. So I start to remember that even though negative thoughts want to sneak their way in, I get to pick what stays. While positive thoughts don't always come automatically to me, I've been putting in some exercise for my brain to retrain it. Instead of letting the negative thoughts cause worry and dread, I decide to put the weight and energy into dreaming about the best case scenario. Sure, what if nobody likes it? That would stink. But what if everyone loved it? That would be awesome. What if I lost my money? Man, I would not want to feel that feeling. So what if instead I made more money on this product than I've ever made before? That is a feeling I would love to feel. Now, do I think that just focusing on the positive option is going to make any bad stuff not happen? No. I can't control everything that happens. What I can do is not suffer twice. If I focus on awesome stuff happening without attachment to needing it to happen, and it flops, then I'll be bummed but ready to move forward to the next cool thing. That's life. That happens. If I think, what if this flops and totally sucks and I feel like a loser, and then it flops and I feel like a loser, it doesn't do me any good to have thought that might happen beforehand. I didn't save myself from suffering just because I thought about it sucking earlier. I just had to deal with those awful feelings twice. Now, there is a difference between fear and gut feelings. Sometimes you may have a sort of knowing and gut feeling that something isn't right. If you get really quiet and listen to your intuition, you can hear what you need to hear. When this happens, by all means, put things to a stop. But don't you dare let things stop just because you're afraid they won't be awesome. I want you to put this into practice this entire week with any situation that comes up that you get a negative or doubtful thought about. Instead of thinking about how much this thing will be hard, think about why it will be amazing. That doesn't mean that it won't be hard, but why spend your precious energy on dealing with the hard twice, when instead you could prove yourself right on how much it's awesome. Choose this week to think about how things are so not a coincidence, and instead they were laid out this way to happen just for you to enjoy, to see, to benefit from. Did you just miss the best parking spot and now you have to drive all the way to the back of the lot and walk to the store? Instead of thinking about how you'll be out of breath or your feet will hurt after this, think about how maybe you needed to park in this spot because you needed to see a bumper sticker on a nearby car that says exactly what you needed to hear. Or maybe because an elderly person is parked right by you and on their way out, they're going to need help with their bags. Did you just get in line for coffee and realize the chattiest pair of people is in front of you and this is going to be a long, awkward wait? Instead, think about how this is the sign that you needed to reach out to your friend you've been thinking of and plan something to do together. Or maybe this is your chance to have your cute outfit noticed by someone other than your cat since you work from home. As humans, we have this weird desire and skill of proving ourselves right. Whether we choose for that to be positive or negative, we love for it to be truth. I especially know that I do this. I'm kind of known in my family for needing to be right about everything. I actually don't love that about myself, and I don't often realize I'm doing it, but I think we all have a level of this as conscious thinking beings. So if you're going to prove yourself right anyway, why not do it about good things? Choose the good and the positive, and the more you reroute your brain to think of and be thankful for these things, the more naturally it will start to come for you. We have 2 awesome episodes that relate very well to this topic if you haven't already listened to them. Romanticize Your Life, which is episode 24, and actually our most downloaded episode ever. And The Good Gets Better, episode number 8. Give these 2 a listen, or a re-listen if you need some more inspiration this week, and try to reroute your mind to positive reactions and ideas. I'll be doing it right alongside you, and I will share a few of my own examples on our Instagram story this week, so be sure to follow along and feel free to share yours too. You get to pick where the weight lies in your life, so why not choose the positive? That is your pep talk. Okay, you guys, for your personal pep talk today, we had a listener write in, I need motivation to clean my house, but I feel like I can't keep up on it, so it's not even worth the effort. How do I keep the motivation high so that I can keep my stress levels low? This is such a good question, and actually, I feel like maybe most people listening to this can relate, especially after a long time of everybody working and doing their entire life from home. Your home needs to be your sanctuary. And we all like to escape our home as much as possible, especially now. But being able to keep it a place that you are comfortable in and excited to return to is a huge, huge deal. So I'm going to tell you something that I have been putting into practice myself for a little while. I am not perfect at this. I definitely don't do it every day and night. But there is a 10-minute rule. It's just 20 minutes a day, which actually 20 minutes, when I hear anybody talk about something, especially if it's with exercise, this is a bad admission, and somebody says, just 20 minutes a day, I'm like, 20 minutes? I do not have 20 minutes to put towards something. But when you break it into 2 10-minute periods, it's actually crazy doable. So here's the advice. Here's what I want you to try. And your motivation will come with it when you start to see the results. So give yourself a little bit of leeway with motivation and try this just as a challenge for yourself. I would set a little reminder, especially for the first week or so that it can become a habit. So put a little alarm in your calendar or something for, I would say, about 10 minutes after you wake up. Set a 10-minute timer and walk out into the main living area that you have and do a cleanup. So this is before you've even prepared any food, but just go out and do any kind of straightening that you can for 10 minutes. Just set a little timer on your phone. That's all the time that you have, and do a 10-minute cleanup. Maybe this involves making your bed, putting things away that you left out last night, straightening up shoes, or for me, it's always there's something random like on the living room couch, probably from watching TV shows the night before, and if I put it in its right place, then it's exactly where I need to find it later, and there's no clutter for me to see. You only have 10 minutes to do this, and then you go throughout your entire day. Then the last 10 minutes that you are awake before you go to bed or before you do your nighttime routine, if you want to do this before you really wind down, that's great. You're going to set another 10-minute timer and just do a 10-minute cleanup. This is not something that needs to be crazy long or a deep cleaning thing. Maybe you do have one specific thing you really want to do, like wipe down the bathroom counters or something. Put that in your calendar so that you remember. But all the time you have is 10 minutes. This way it won't get overwhelming and you know that some kind of cleanliness is happening. It's also great if you have children. This is a great thing to do because a 10-minute cleanup is not that big of a deal. They can work on their stuff and you can work on something else, and everything feels more peaceful and less cluttered. So this is my advice for you to try. Write back in. Let me know how this is working for you. This is a really helpful thing for me and my own home cleanliness. I am slightly disorganized as a person, just in general. But there are a few things that really stress me out if they're super messy. One of them is my house, and one of them is my car. And my closet is kind of always a mess. Every once in a while, I get a big wave of needing to clean it, and that is awesome. But I just want you to know you are not alone. Try this for 20 minutes a day, 10 minutes 2 different times, and I think you will see big improvements. Thank you so much for writing in. Please remember to submit your questions, whatever you want to talk about, you need advice on, or you just need a second opinion. Send it in our way, either on our Instagram, Pep Talk Podcast, or through our email, peptalkthepodcast@gmail.com. We look forward to these every week. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Good luck. Bye.